views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
This show's audio was via a Skype call.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Angel Healing House Radio. My name is Candy Hough. Through my business, Angel Healing House, which can be found at angelhealinghouse.com. I'm a writer and an author, an international radio host, a Reiki master teacher, and an angel practitioner. My inspirational books entitled Angels of Faith and One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, are based on my recollections of our life in spirit, and they help us to remember our divine, eternal natures. Through Angel Healing House, I help people to let go of sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, and regret that has kept them locked in the prison of the past, and I help them to let go of worry, stress, and control, which has kept them focused on an imagined future. And once they are no longer living in the past or the future, they can start to live in the present moment, which is the only place that they can experience synchronicities, miracles, and magic. As an angel practitioner, I help people to see their lives from a higher perspective with the help of an extraordinary group of angels who call themselves the Posse of Angels. Just like my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, I'm very excited to take some of your calls for that free angel advice. You can call into the show on 1-800-930-2819. But before we get to those callers, welcome everyone to Angel Healing House Radio with myself, Candy Hough, and welcome to the new month of April. And with it being tax time looming on the horizon, the Posse of Angels and I decided to make abundance the theme for this month's topic. And today's topic is entitled, Abundance is Your Nature, Not Money. You know, everyone, throughout my 15 years as an angel practitioner, a healing practitioner, and intuitive counselor, I've had the great honor of being able to bring forth messages angelic family, who I am a part of, and who call themselves the Posse of Angels. And without a doubt, the number one question that most of my clients want insights on is how they can get more money and when will they be wealthy. Well, the Posse of Angels is reminding all of us to realize that those angels, like myself, that those angels who never experienced a physical life like I'm experiencing now truly know nothing about two often asked questions, and they'll be the first to admit it. One of those things is the questions about time, like when something is going to happen. And the other question is questions about money. Now let's talk about the concept of time first. The concept of so-called human time does not exist across the veil, doesn't exist in heaven, as there is only the present moment or 0 point. Now, I have spoken about 0 point on some of my other radio programs, and it can best be described as always functioning in a whole, complete state of bliss and oneness connected to God. And quite frankly, with this overwhelming feeling of divinity surrounding one, who would want to step away from the present moment, from this 0 point, and experiencing anything less than sheer bliss? Now, the Posse of Angels is also saying the last point that they want to make about time is that the timing of things is not our area of expertise. This is the providence of Creator, Source, Universe, God, and hence it's His or her divine timing. So thank you, Posse of Angels, for sharing your insights on the subject of time. And now they want to talk about money. Those angels who have not had an earthly existence, they really, truly do not fully understand the concept of money as an exchange for things. They do not get the concept of money as they know that that abundance is already our nature. It has been gifted to us as pure potential. Money actually confuses them as they know that everything comes from God, not money. You know, the Posse of Angels is saying that even though it's part of our divine eternal nature to always be provided for in God's ways, many of us put our time, our focus, and our attention on controlling and worrying and stressing about money. It seems that for many people, the levels of money in their bank account make them feel diminished, make them feel less than, and they allow a number to determine their identity of who they are, and they allow that to determine their limitless possibilities to be abundant. In fact, it was a few years ago that I was asked to be a speaker at a money seminar. And I started off my presentation with the following exercise, and maybe you would like to play along. I told the participants that I would like for everyone in the room to close their eyes and to think back to their childhood. I asked them to see themselves as either a little boy or a little girl and feel how excited they were about their achievements and their creativity. I then asked them to put their focus and attention on their heart and feel what it feels like to do what they absolutely love doing. I then asked them to open their eyes and write down the answer to the following question. When I grow up, I want to be, and fill in the blank. After giving them a little time, I canvassed this huge room full of people and I asked them to give me their answers. And you know, we had such a diverse group. We had everything from when I grow up, I want to be astronauts, firemen, policemen, nurses, doctors, sailors, singers, painters, scientists. We even had chefs and dog trainers, teachers and clowns. And the list went on and on. After everyone had had a chance to answer what they wanted to be when they grew up, I pointed out to the audience that there wasn't a single person in that whole room that wrote, when I grow up, I want to be rich. Now, the reason for this was because as a child, we knew we were already divinely and inherently rich and wealthy and abundant because that was and is our God-given nature. As a child, we knew who we were. In fact, when I was a child, I used to get lost for hours and hours as I excitedly wrote and created the most wildly imaginative stories and tales. And I loved telling them and sharing them with people. And then as I grew older, instead of pursuing what I absolutely loved doing, I allowed myself to believe others that my stories and my gifts for writing, they were just a hobby, a mere pastime, and that it was certainly not something that I should seriously pursue. I stopped doing what I knew I loved, and I listened to others who told me, you know what you should do? You should do something sensible. You should become a nurse, a secretary, or a teacher. Now, those are sensible jobs. You know, I listened to others, and I became a teacher. I was a great teacher. I was also a greatly depressed, anorexic teacher, as I was living a life of everyone else's choosing. This is because I silenced my fullness. I silenced the abundance and wealth of excitement and creative passion that I felt for writing. And for my whole life, I felt like I was suffocating and living somebody else's existence. But you know what? Once I connected with my joy of writing, there has been no stopping me. In 2006, the first book I wrote was Angels of Faith. This is my book about my 2 near-death experiences that I had as a little girl and how we simply do not die. Then, a few years after that, came One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness. This is a book about my 5 most important past lives and what I did across the veil as I lived my non-physical life in heaven before I decided to come back and incarnate for another physical incarnation, and how I ascended and enlightened to become Angel Ariel, who I am today. And then after that came my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, which is the sequel to One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and the audiobook I just recorded on this one. The point is that there has been no stopping me since I unlocked the key to my abundance in my side and inside of me. I've written books. I've written a screenplay. I've written articles for magazines, newsletters, and blogs. For 7 years, every week, I've channeled and written the Angel Healing House radio program. My joy knows no bounds when it comes to writing. I live heaven on earth because I've embraced and regained my childhood abundance, my enthusiasm, and my passion for life. And amidst all of this joy, not once in the past 15 years that I've been writing have I done it for money. Yet, money has come as a result of the writing. I've done it because it makes me feel alive. It makes me feel abundant inside. And because of the laws of attraction, the laws of cause and effect, they are always in motion in our lives. My life has been so incredibly abundant with wealth, wealth of love, wealth of riches, of health, and the overwhelming prosperity that I've attracted to myself in all areas of my life. How much money we have has nothing to do with the wealth of who we are and our extraordinary, limitless capacity to be a magnet to amass more in our lives. You know, I had a client who was a social media marketer, and during our intuitive counseling session together, that same question came up as she asked, how can I get more money in my life so that I can move forward? I asked her in what area she felt like she was being held back, and she said she didn't have the money to spend for someone to design a website for her business. I said that instead of dwelling on lack, which only brings more lack in our life, by saying, I don't have enough money for, it would help her greatly to affirm and be grateful that she already was abundant and that she already, of the things that she was already given. In this way, it would change the energies to being positive, and it would draw more positivity and more possibilities into her life. In other words, being grateful and thankful for what we do have will always bring us more, and then we will be given more. I suggested that she start by thanking God for sending her someone who could perhaps barter her wonderful services in exchange for a simple website. Now, in this way, the web designer would benefit from my client's services, and it could very easily open the doors of limitless possibilities for a win-win situation to manifest. In fact, I suggested this very approach to a client of mine who makes beautiful jewelry, and she drew to herself a web designer who created a simple basic website in exchange for a stunning necklace that the jewelry designer created for her mother's 60th birthday present. It was a win-win situation. Now, the Posse of Angels, here they come in, and they're chiming in and they're saying that even asking for someone to barter services with excludes all the other miraculous possibilities that God and the angels can rain down on us. What if we entered a competition and we won a free website? Now, the Posse of Angels is suggesting that all we need to do is ask. It will be given, but if we're not open to receive in unlimited ways, limitless ways and possibilities, then we will restrict our lives. The Posse of Angels is suggesting, and they're saying, thank you for my wonderful, suggesting that we say something like, thank you for my wonderful website that shows up with ease and grace under the most divine circumstances, and is for my greatest good and the greatest good of all concerned. In letting go of the how and the when of this happening, we have more time to devote to put of all our joy and effort into being creative. So when this fabulous website arrives, we will have the wonderful content to put on it. You know, everyone, it is unfortunate that this concept of being prosperous and wealthy, well, it is simply a foreign language to so many people because they have been programmed to get their sense of self-worth, their value, and even their identity from one thing and one thing only, and that is how much money they possess. The Posse of Angels wishes to remind us all that every single soul that has ever incarnated on the earth plane into their human form has been given and blessed with everything that they need to be prosperous, wealthy, and abundant. It is by seeking to embrace and share our God-given gifts, our talents, and our abilities that will determine how much abundance and how much richness we will experience in our lives. And many times the richness that we feel inside truly has nothing to do with money. You know, early in my years as a healing practitioner, this is going back to 2003, I drew to myself a rather overweight, unhealthy businessman who was under several doctors' care. He was experiencing high blood pressure. He was experiencing tightness in his chest. He had irritable bowel. He had skin rashes. Along with his expensive suit and his gold jewelry, he drove up to my office for his appointment in a shiny gold Bentley. He went on to tell me that his doctor had suggested that he come for Reiki sessions to help him relax. To start the session off, I told him that we were going to look at his life from a higher perspective. And I asked him, and I simply said, so tell me the story of your life. He told me all about how he came from what he called a miserably poor family, and that he swore that he would be rich one day. He loved school, and he applied himself so diligently that he received a scholarship to college and did a business degree. It was a chance meeting with a guest lecturer that saw the fire and the determination in him, and this businessman decided to take him in to work in his business. He told me that he didn't want to let his mentor down, and he worked around the clock for many years. He puffed out his chest, and he proudly told me that by the time he was 25 years old, he had made his first million. Through clever investing and his connections, he started to build his empire and expanded internationally. By the time this businessman was 40 years old, he owned an oceanfront property, an oceanfront home. He traveled the world, and he only went first class. He had the finest of fine things. For almost an hour, he told me about his net worth. He dropped names of wealthy business connections. After he was finished, I said, looking over what you've just shared with me, you didn't say anything about any hobbies or pastimes that you love doing, nor did you mention any relationships or friendships. Suddenly, there was a look of shock on his face, and he said, "Oh my gosh, I have been married for 30 years, and in the whole time I've been speaking, I didn't mention my wife, nor did I mention my 4 beautiful children. I cannot believe I didn't mention them at all." In his defense, he said, "But you didn't ask me about them." And I calmly said, "I just said, tell me the story of your life. What you choose to share with me is what you have chosen to focus on." I went on to say that we make time for the things that are a priority for each and every one of us. Because of his background growing up poor, he chosen to incessantly put all of his attention and his focus on making and acquiring more and more money. And along the way, he lost his balance. He forgot not only his wife and children, he forgot his emotional well-being, which led to his poor health. Because he never chose to accept that he was worthy and deserving without all the trappings of wealth, his ego had to be fed with its daily diet of more and more money. Through continued sessions, this gentleman was able to bring back balance into his life, greatly improving his relationships with his family, and he took time to nurture and nourish himself emotionally, and his health dramatically improved. You know, everyone, our greatest richness for life is what we have, not outside externally, not in a bank account. It is what we have inside of ourselves, the abundance of our talents, our gifts, and our blessings from God. And when that abundance is acknowledged, like my writing, and recognized that we are worthy and we're deserving of doing what we love doing, regardless of the money, then we will feel abundance and we will experience that abundance in our lives. Please, everyone, do remember that we are still in Mercury retrograde when the planet of communication goes backward. And it is definitely a time of regeneration and reviewing, instead of pushing agendas. With so many of the collective consciousness now feeling this, it is a wonderful time to review where in your life you can put your focus and attention on acknowledging your richness, the richness of your health, the richness of acknowledging those people that are friends, that are loving family members, the love of a pet. Their abundance and is prosperity, wealth, and riches shows up in so many more areas than just in our bank accounts. And with so many of the collective consciousness feeling that it's almost like within this time we are preparing for the new to come in. And when life does start moving forward, we will see the physical manifestation of where we have been putting our focus and attention. So do put your focus on how rich you are with exactly the way things are, rather than think that you lack anything to be able to move forward. Remember that Mercury does go forward starts to go forward on April 15th, but it doesn't get out of its shadow phase for at least a week, 10 days. Some people say as long as 2 weeks before things start to move forward. So let's go to our Druid animal cards. For the past month or so, I've loved pulling from the Druid Animal Oracle deck. And while I was shuffling before, I started to hear the thunder of hooves, and I'm not surprised that our friend, the horse, galloped in today. Horse calls our spirits to journey, to travel, and this might be physically, or it might mean to go inwardly to discover more about ourselves. The powerful energy of horse connects with both the earth and the sun, which brings us the energy, the power, and the determination to conquer new lands and new experiences. So, with horse being the patroness of life cycles, birth, death, the afterlife, and then rebirth, she encourages us to be comfortable with every life cycle. And so many of us feel like we are now moving in to a new life cycle that we will experience. And we know that we're co-creating this with God's source, knowing that we will be guided and protected through each life cycle of our life. So thank you, Mr. Horse, for coming in today, for galloping in and giving us those messages of traveling and moving and experiencing so much more in our lives. As so many of us feel like this new is on the horizon, and we are readying ourselves for new ways of showing up in the world that are going to manifest for us. So you have been listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on the lovely Angel Healing House Radio, which airs every week, Tuesdays at 9 a.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. And after the break, we will be taking some of your calls for those free angel readings. If you would like to call in to get a free angel reading from myself and my beautiful angelic family, the Posse of Angels, call in on 1-800-930-2819, and we will see you after the break.
To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Hough, angelic walk-in angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now, 831-277-3716, or visit angelhealinghouse.com. Have you discovered the remarkable books at angelhealinghouse.com? Author Claire Candy Hough has channeled rare books of inspiration and insight.
Angels of Faith is an inspiring story of healing, comfort, and hope that reminds us that death is not to be feared, but embraced with joy.
One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, takes readers on a roller coaster ride through Angel Ariel's 5 most important lives on Earth, as well as her experiences in the afterlife, and helps us remember our own journey across the veil.
And Claire Candy's autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, which details the 2003 soul exchange that took place when Claire Candy walked out of her body and Angel Ariel walked in, creating heaven on earth for herself and others.
To find out more about these wonderful books, visit angelhealinghouse.com today.
You're back with me, Claire Candy Hough, on the lovely Angel Healing House radio show. We have been speaking about today's topic, which is abundance is your nature, not money. And with it being the first show of April 2018 and tipping our etheric hats to tax time in this month of April, we're going to be speaking the whole month about abundance and how it's our nature and how we can work with that pure potential of ours. It's amazing, especially this time of the year in the Northern Hemisphere, where we're turning to spring, there are so many signs of an abundant earth. The blossoms, the leaves, the buds are starting to come out on the trees and fill them once again. The crocuses and the daffodils and the tulips, they're bursting out of the ground. The earth is rich, and we are no less than the earth, than the moon and the stars. We are exactly the same, and we have been given this abundant nature, and whether we use it or not is our free will. So this whole month we'll be speaking about how we can use our abundant nature and feel that richness in our lives. Let's go to our callers. Our first caller is from Debbie in San Diego. Debbie, we are on the line with Claire Candy Hough. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Hi.
And what's going on in your life?
Well, I've recently left my job of 14 years, and I'm in the middle of looking for work. And so I just was hoping that you could maybe pull some cards and let me know what's in my, what's coming up for me.
Okay. First of all, while I'm shuffling the cards, I don't have to pull any cards to see the vision that the Posse of Angels are giving me. They are doing a dance for you, Debbie. They are wearing hats. There's like streamers. It's like a going away party for you, because that job, and you've known it for a while, that job is a coat that has become too small for you. You've known it. You've heard the alarm bells, but for one reason or another, you've hung on to it, and they're saying, you've changed. You've changed your energetic frequency so much that you have graduated from there. So instead of saying, I lost my job, change those words to, I graduated from my job. I graduated energetically. And because you have let go of that job and you've opened your hand, it's going to be filled. They're showing me that it's going to be filled, and know that every time we honor and respect ourselves, which you may not have thought that you were doing, but you actually honored and respected your shift in energies, you will then draw to yourself something of matching energies where you are now. They're saying you're so much more conscious, you're so much more aware, awakened, enlightened than where you were 14 years ago. And you're ready to wear a new coat. So they want you to do a couple things. Okay, before I even pull any cards, the first thing that they want you to do is they want you to sit for, just a few minutes every single day, silence technology, light a candle, and they want you to say thank you. Thank you for this job that has sustained me for 14 years. I'm so rich and I'm so blessed to have had this job, and acknowledge that abundance. Bless that job, no matter what relationships were around there, no matter what frictions, or if it showed you great contrast, it showed you what you did not want in your life. So you thank that and bless that. And then on the flip side of that, Debbie, what they want you to do is then, and I've gotten such extraordinary feedback from my clients who have done this. They want you to sit and they want you to say at the top of your voice, oh my gosh, thank you, universe. I want to thank you for this amazing new job, this amazing new opportunity that I've been blessed with. You don't even have to know what it is. I work with extraordinary, awakened, conscious people. I work in a great environment. I get financially remunerated for my gifts and talents. I love what I do. And then feel in your heart as if you are already doing it. And then while you are not waiting for this to happen, because you're actually then putting yourself into the hands of the divine for their God's universe, creators, divine timing, then you create. Don't worry, don't stress. You will be provided for. Not in the way that you you are attached or expect, but you will be provided for in so many different ways. And when that happens, then you will see the results of cause and effect. So let's go to the cards. Any questions while I'm shuffling the cards?
No, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I can already feel a change in your energies. Okay, there's nothing to worry about. Everything, the Posse of Angels are saying, Debbie, everything is on track. And they're proud of you. Celebrate the fact that you've graduated from there. It is time for a new beginning. Okay, the first card that comes out for you is the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords is usually the burden card. This is the card that says that where you were needed to come to the end. 10 is then reduced to a number 1, which is about a completion. It's about new beginnings. The circle it's come full circle, and it's only now that you were ready. You were ready to let go of that which did not serve you anymore. And that's what the Posse of Angels are so proud of you. So if you want to read it as past, present, and future, maybe we'll read it at that. The next one, I love this. The next one is the Eight of Cups. And this is the walking away card. And that's what you're doing. There are several cards in the tarot deck which are the walking away cards. The other 2 or 3 are about walking away to something that you know. This is about having the courage, the strength, and the respecting and honoring yourself to walk away from something when you don't know what you're walking towards, but you know that it's not that which you came from. And so you are walking in faith. You are walking in trust, and you can affirm this in your 5, 10, 15 minutes that you take every single day by saying, I am that I am. I'm a child of God, and I am worthy and deserving of having a life in which I love what I'm doing, and I work with wonderful people, and I can't wait to get up every day and do what I love doing. And when you feel that, and then you let go of the how and the when of that happening, and then you let go of the expectation and attachment, and you watch what comes in miraculously for you. The next card that comes out for you is the Three of Cups, which is the celebration card. And this is the celebration of you getting a new job. So the Posse of Angels and I want you to make a promise to us. Is that okay?
Yes.
They want you to promise us that every day for 5, 10, 15 minutes without fail, you will close your eyes, you will drop down to your heart, and you will say, thank you from the bottom of my heart for this extraordinary opportunity. And I get to work with these people and do work that I love and feel as if it's already happened. Then when it happens, Debbie,
okay.
Then when it happens, I want you to call into the show and tell us what you've brought in for yourself. Can you do that for us?
I will. I definitely will.
And there's your celebration. There's your celebration. The Three of Cups is always about a celebration. Okay. So I hope that's been helpful for you. I am so excited for you as you go into the spring.
Definitely has been. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day. Really God bless you. Take care.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. And you know what? I often say that, yes, the message was specifically for Debbie because she called in, but that message is for me as well. That message is for anyone at any time that either listens to this show live or they listen to the show on archives, because all of my shows on Transformation Talk Radio have been archived over the last year and a half that I've been on this platform. And if the message is coming to you, then it means there's some aspect in it that is for you as well. And with so many of us going into our third mission as spirit, having a human experience on this planet, new ways of showing up in the world will open up for us. So it is such an exciting time. Allow it to happen. Step into your abundance and let go of any attachment and expectation as to the way you think it should, ought to, or has to turn up for you. Let's go to our next caller. We have Diane in Los Angeles. You are very close to where I am in LA. Diane, you're on the call with Claire Candy Hough. How are you today?
Hi, I am great. I always love your energy. You're so calming, and you make me feel so centered. I love who you are. Thank you.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? I would love to get that in a testimonial. Thank you.
Oh,
that's so sweet.
Okay, sometimes when you say something, you forget what you say, but I would be happy to. My question would be though. 4 weeks ago, I treated myself to a little cosmetic surgery. Mm-hmm. And I on my face, I did a lower facelift. And for some reason, the healing on my neck has like a little bit of, he said, an illusion. And he's having me massage it. And now that it's been 4 weeks, I feel like he didn't pull it tight enough. I'm not sure. I've known him for, 20 years. I've been doing little procedures. And I'm wondering if this last procedure will give me the results I'm expecting, or would he redo something? Or, I'm just wondering if you have any insight on it. It was a lot of money.
Okay. Let's first ask if, if with the massage and everything, if it will heed you the results that you wish.
Okay.
And the Posse of Angels are saying yes. And I'm getting shivers all over. Okay. So they're saying the body is miraculous. But the body doesn't work on our time. Okay? It will heed the results that you want, but love it. Don't give your body, and your body is just so sensitive. If we look in the mirror and we say my ass, excuse me, my behind is fat, or my tummy is fat, or my boobs are too big or they're too small or whatever, then the body reacts to that, and the body gets very sad and starts producing fat cells, or starts to droop, or all kinds of things. So they're saying love your body, massage it, and say you are doing a wonderful job and you're healing in your timing. But when I ask the Posse of Angels if it will eventually heed the results which you sought, they're saying yes. But they're saying it might take longer than you would have imagined. And that they can't put a time on. But they're saying don't.
I understand that completely.
Yeah, they're saying don't despair. That it will heed the results, but allow it to heal in its own timing.
Good.
Yep.
I love that, and I'm really positive about it. It's my boyfriend that's saying, So I said, just be cool, and tried to calm him down. And now that you're calming me down, I feel better. Just because he expects it to be perfect. But it's life, and I really like the way I look. I'm so impressed. It's just that one little area on my profile is not so pleasing to him.
Okay, so
and I understand it.
Okay, so
or the results I was expecting.
Okay, all right. So when you release the expectation, when you release the attachment, in those few words that I just heard you say, I really look good. I really like the results. And then you put in the but. all of that positive and optimistic and lovely, and that I really look good, that had fairy dust around it, that had little bubbles of different colors and joy and an uplift. And it's funny, we're talking about a facelift, and I said uplift, but what they really want you to do is they want you to focus on, I really look good. And I did this for me. I did not do this for anyone else. And what anybody else says has nothing to do with the way I feel. Maybe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe from a spiritual point of view, that one little area had to take longer to get with the program in order for you to see it as the way it is, and to then not, to practice not putting your focus and attention on what is not perfection or whatever that is for you yet, but to put your attention on the 98.9% that is.
Yeah, I love that. I so love that. That's such a powerful, and it's exactly how I live. So I have to get back to that and appreciate everything, which is so powerful. Yeah, and I do. I love the way my life is, and I'm so appreciative to everything. And I thank God every day, all day. So we go. And then, the other issue, my boyfriend, or is there only one question? You probably have other people.
No. Keep going. That's fine.
Okay. He has he has fibromyalgia. He has a lot of medical issues, and I, don't even go there. I try to tell him the complete opposite. Don't say what you have. Say how you feel, and feel good, and only positive. So this morning he's had a little bit of a problem, and he has some blood in his urine, and he's quite frightened about it. And he booked an appointment. I know you don't do medical, but do you think this is a minor issue with him?
Anytime. No, I don't consult, and I'm not a medical intuitive, and I don't advise anything medically. Right. But I can tell you from my years as a healing practitioner for the last 15 years that anytime there is something that shows up in the body, it means that there is something from an emotional level. Blood in the urine often means like a bladder infection, and it means that we are pissed off about something. Get it? Pissed off, bladder infections. So there is, I would say, 80. That's what it is.
It makes so much sense. I get so excited. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So I would love for him to have a session with me, or someone else, to get to the underlying cause of this, because the physical body, Diane, shows us when it gets to the stage where we see the skin rashes, it means that the body has been irritated emotionally for a long time, and it's the emotional body that holds up the physical body. Another thing, fibromyalgia, there are so many different emotional reasons underlying that, about worthiness, about deservability, about, making yourself right, controlling those kinds of things. From a physical point of view, does he drink diet sodas? Does he drink sodas?
Never. I mean,
never.
I won't, not around me.
Oh, okay.
And if I see it, I get so upset. You're right.
Okay.
I know how poison. In fact, we always try to eat healthy, and we spend a lot of time together, even though we have separate homes. That I know it is the diet, isn't it? A lot of it has to do with diet.
Right.
Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, it has to. It might have to do with diet, but there are definitely reasons for fibromyalgia from an emotional point of view, and so there would be, things where he needs to take a look. A lot of the times, these things have been cemented in childhood, and we then think that we've dealt with them or swept them under the carpet or things like that, where they're just underlying the surface, and we still haven't dealt with them as yet. So it'd be a good idea for him to go to perhaps a medical intuitive or somebody who can look deeper in, and I call it exhuming the crypt, go to those levels of emotional unwellness or things that haven't been brought back into alignment yet. But back to your cards, the first card that I drew for you is the Strength card. Now, this is the Strength card, and this is the card of having the courage and the strength to acknowledge and to see yourself as perfection. Yes, we like to appear younger. Yes, we like to, women and men put on makeup, or, we do our hair in our certain way. We like our bodies to look in a certain way. We are fortunate to live in such a world where a lot of the things can be tweaked and things. But at the end of the day, have the strength and the fortitude to see yourself as beautiful, no matter what the outside is. The next card that comes out for you is a reawakening card. And it's so interesting. In this card, in the fairy deck, this guy, this little fairy, he's looking at his reflection. He's pondering and he's looking at his reflection in the water. Now, the awakening card or the judgment card is about a new phase in your life. It's about it's about a rebirth, about being reborn. But more importantly, the Posse of Angels are saying that they really want you to take a good look at yourself, and they want you to go beyond that physical and see yourself as divine and perfection. More than the physical. And then the next one for you is the Two of Spring. And in this card, it's knowing and putting your emphasis on what is right, what is positive and optimistic, as I mentioned before, instead of thinking to yourself, if just that little bit was not, the way it is, which it's going to be, because it's going to heal, but it's going to take its own time. So I hope that's been helpful for you, Diane.
Beyond. And I'm so excited. I'm going to have him listen to this, and hopefully he'll book an appointment with you.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Oh, that would be wonderful. Okay. And I'm sending so much love to you and your boyfriend, and I see you, and the Posse of Angels see you, and God sees you as absolute bliss and joy and utter perfection, and sending you all kinds of love.
Oh, I'm so impressed. Thank you so much. Love you
Take
so
care.
much back.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, love.
And we've just got a few minutes left. So with it being still in Mercury retrograde, the lovely planet of communication, is still going backwards. Let's just pull one card for an end message for all of us to see if we've got any additional insights coming in. Oh, yay! 78 cards. There's only one sun card in the entire deck, and we get it. The sun is shining on us, meaning there's a new illumination. There's a new shininess that is on the horizon. For so many of us that are awakened and conscious to this heavenly, divine, eternal nature inside of all of us. And there is going to be celebrations, just like these fairies dancing around the maypole, for so many of us, and to revel in the fact that this is the manifestation of what we've been working for, this joy, this radiance, this illumination. So everyone, have an absolutely extraordinary week. Thank you so much for listening. Remember that Angel Healing House Radio airs every week, Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you are interested in acquiring my books, I Am an Angelic Walk-In. The prequel is One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my first book about my 2 near-death experiences and how we don't die, Angels of Faith. Please go to Angel Healing House at angelhealinghouse.com, or you can buy the books on Amazon, and you can buy the audio book for I'm an Angelic Walk-In on audible.com. Have an extraordinary week, everyone. Go out and fashion a beautiful heavenly life for yourself. Love and angel blessings as always, and I will speak with you again next week. Bye.